Hello and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. And joining me as always, back this week from his vacation, is volunteer and animal wrangler Randy Cooper. And our first guest today is Cairo, and Cairo is one of the more unusual breeds that we get into the shelter. He's a Samoyed, so he's something a little different from our traditional beagles, chihuahuas, pit bulls, those types of things. He is about 7 years old. As you can see, he's a big white ball of fluff, and he has recently had a dental. He had some really bad teeth, so we went ahead and extracted all of those things. Right now he's not wearing his cone, but if you come by and see him in his kennel, he's likely going to have that on for the next week or so, just because there are stitches and things like that in his mouth, and we want to make sure that he's not aggravating those things. So it's for his own best interest that we're doing that. So we've taken care of most of those things. Senior dogs, senior cats, any older animal typically has more medical things going on than a younger dog. Cairo also tested positive for Lyme disease, so that's something that you're also going to have to take into consideration if you're adding him to your family. Right now, we have been giving him some antibiotics for that to get those levels down, but when you're taking him home, you're going to definitely want to make sure you're getting him on flea and tick preventative, that you're checking his coat for ticks when he's coming in from being outside, and checking into getting that Lyme disease vaccination from your vet. Here we have color-coded Cairo as orange, so he's pretty mild-mannered. He knows some basic commands, not really jumpy or anything like that. At one point in the vet notes, it even says he walks a little mopey. So he knows sit, he knows some basic things. He doesn't have issues with food aggression. He doesn't have any issues with guarding or things like that. Cairo is a very sweet boy. He's very calm, as you can see. He's not going to be jumping up on you like some of the younger animals, and that's what's great about our senior pets, is that their personalities are really set. You know exactly what you're getting. They're not still evolving and changing and growing. So if you're looking for a calm dog and you find it relaxing to brush out that nice long fur, then stop in and visit with Cairo. Next guest is definitely a much higher energy dog than Cairo. This is Mufasa, and the first thing that I always notice about him is his ears. He's got the super cute ears, one floppy, one that stands up. He is an adorable guy, but he is very full of energy. So we're looking for a home for him who can make sure that he gets that opportunity to get out and work off that energy, to run and play. He is a year to a year and a half old, so he still has a lot of puppy in him. He has a lot of things that he needs to learn. He's very jumpy. He gets excited. He wants to jump up and be in your space. He is also very playful. He loves a good toy. He likes to play a little tug of war, all of that stuff. He's also very strong. So right now we have him listed as Kennel Tech or approved volunteer only, which means that people who understand how to deal with dogs that have a lot of strength are only able to take him out and walk him here at the shelter. But we don't have any restrictions on him as far as what type of a home he can go to. Whereas Cairo, we knew did not get along well with young children, so we're not going to adopt him to a family who has young children. Mufasa, on the other hand, doesn't have any issues that we're aware of. He came to us as a stray. There's nothing about his behavior that makes us leery of adopting him out to a family with children. So anybody could take him home as long as they have they meet that information that we require for adopting. And they understand that he's going to need a lot of attention. He is going to need some training. He doesn't really know sit. He can pull on his leash. He's very jumpy. All of those things are still kind of puppy things that he would need someone to train him to do. One of our kennel techs has taken him out, and he says that Mufasa seems to prefer to be around female dogs. He seems not to like other male dogs. So that might be something that you want to think about if you have a male dog in your home and you're thinking of adding a second dog. Maybe Mufasa wouldn't be the best fit. We do always encourage people who are adopting dogs to bring their dog in and see how they get along gives you a good indication of whether or not it's something that you can work with and they can learn to get along, or if it's something where it's just not going to work out. It's going to put both dogs in a negative situation. But we always recommend doing that dog-to-dog meet and greet here at the shelter. If you're interested in Mufasa, you can stop by and visit him here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Our last canine guest that we have for you today is Hayden, and he's been on the show before. It's always nice to showcase the dogs that have been here before, because as their stay here kind of lengthens, we learn new things about them. A lot of people are intimidated when they walk by Hayden's cage because he just doesn't like to be in his kennel. He barks and is excited and he's jumpy because he wants to be out. He wants to go home with a new family, and he does have a high energy, and he is very strong. But when you take him outside of his kennel, he settles right in. He loves to play. He'll sit calmly in the grass. We've had him out in our puppy play group playing with other dogs, just sitting next to each other, you know, enjoying being out in the sun. So he really does have a kind of a softer side to him, and it's not uncommon for the dogs to dislike being in the kennel, especially if they're not used to that. So it's really important that if you're looking for a dog and you walk by a dog such as Hayden and you think, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful dog, I would love to have this dog in my home, but you're intimidated by the barking, just read their profile and take them out and see if their behavior outside of the kennel is something that you can handle and you want to take on. Hayden is very, very strong, so you have to be prepared for pulling on the leash and those types of things if you're taking him on. He has been working with some of our volunteers to learn some good manners, and he's doing really well with that. So he is very trainable, but he still is kind of a project dog and will need some work from his new owners. Things that we have set for him, because of his strength, his size, the fact that when he gets overstimulated, he can be a little mouthy. He is designated as an older children or adult home only dog, meaning we want people who understand and how to read dog body language to take him on. We don't want a small child to be in his face and inadvertently get bitten while he's trying to do what he's doing right now. He's playing. So we want to make sure that everybody is safe in the house. When you come in and look at Hayden's profile, the volunteers that have been working on training him have filled out behavioral reports and are marking his progress. So if you want to see how he has been changing as he's been working with some of our volunteers, it's really important to read that. That's going to give you a great indication on what he's learning and what kind of home would be best for him. And kind of helpful tips on how you can then work forward to teach him new things. But Hayden is a very sweet dog. As you can see, he loves to be petted, he loves to play, he has a lot of great qualities, and he's just looking for an owner that can understand all of his needs and make sure that he's getting the proper exercise and mental stimulation. If you're interested in Hayden, you can stop by and visit him here at the shelter 6 days a week. We often get exotic animals in the shelter, and rabbits are one of those kind of more exotic pets that we get. Right now we have 2 rabbits on our adoption floor. We have Olive, who has been with us for quite some time, and then we have a newer rabbit. This is Sunny, and Sunny has the distinction of being a blue color-coded rabbit. Color-coding things around here blue, it doesn't happen very frequently, but it's a great thing. That means that those animals are very calm, very affectionate. They love to be around people. They're very easy to handle. Sunny is a very, very sweet rabbit. She made her way to us because what often happens is that children acquire pets, and then when they leave the home, their parents maybe don't want to take on caring for those pets on their own, so they bring them to us so that we can find them a new home. Sunny is an American mixed rabbit, and she's about 5 years old. One of the great things about adopting a rabbit from us is that we go ahead and take care of spaying and neutering all of the rabbits that come in. So cats, dogs, and rabbits are spayed and neutered here. Because they are technically exotic pets, it can be a little bit more expensive to get the rabbits spayed and neutered. So when you're adopting from us, instead of getting from a breeder, you're getting that procedure done for the adoption fee, which is $50. So you really can't beat any of the deals on the animals here at the shelter. When you're taking on a rabbit or any other pet, it's really important that you're doing the research to understand what is required for that pet. Having a rabbit is not the same as having a cat or dog. They need to have a home that's been rabbit proofed because they love to chew on things, including all of your electrical cables. They need a space where they can run around and play and get exercise. Most people have their rabbits living in exercise pens in rooms. They are not meant to live outside in outdoor hutches. These are not what these rabbits are for. They're house rabbits. They rely on us to keep them nice and safe. It's too warm. It's just not a great fit for them. But they do enjoy outside playtime, so that's something that you also have to provide. On nice days, taking them out, letting them hop around in the grass, always keeping them under strict supervision because they are prey animals. That's something that you would also have to think about if you have existing pets in your home and you're thinking about adding a rabbit. One of the great things about Sunny is that she has had exposure to living in a home with cats and dogs, so she's accustomed to that. It's just important that you get your dog or your cat accustomed to having the rabbit around. Rabbits love to be handled. They need that same socialization as your cat or dog would. Again, they make great pets, but you have to be prepared to provide them with the adequate needs that they have. Using the House Rabbit Society website as a resource is a great thing. That's what we recommend, and that's where we get a lot of our information. If you're interested in adding Sunny to your family, please stop by and visit her here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. So our final guest before the break is Sammy. Sammy is a red-eared slider turtle. We get in anything that's a domesticated animal. So we get cats and dogs, but we also get the turtles and the rabbits and ferrets and guinea pigs and rats and mice and goats and chickens and ducks and all of those types of things. Sammy is available for adoption. He, however, is housed in an area that is off the adoption floor, much like Willow the duck. So if you're interested in adding Sammy to your home, that's something that you would have to come in and let us know, and then we could show you to where he's housed and let you interact with him. Sammy is a juvenile, so he's still young, still growing. So if you have a domesticated pet and you're unable to care for it for whatever reason, whether it's financial, you're moving, you just don't want it anymore, please bring them to us so then we can properly care for them and then find them new and suitable homes. If you're interested in Sammy, again, you have to come and speak to someone at the front desk and let them know, and then they can introduce you to him. That's going to wrap it up for this portion of Pet Pals. After the break, we're going to introduce you to some of our feline friends and discuss an exciting promotion that we have going on during the month of July.
Transit services of Frederick County. With rising gas prices, transit is a less expensive way to work or school. Most commuter bus routes run every 30 minutes during weekday morning and afternoon rush hours. Bus stops are within a quarter mile of most businesses in downtown Frederick. Transit offers shuttles to Thurmont, Emmitsburg, Brunswick, Jefferson, Spring Ridge, and Route 85, or take a shuttle to the MARC train for an easy commute. Find out what nearly 1 million passengers already know. Transit connects people and places.
Welcome back. Spring and summer months in the shelter community are known as kitten season. That is when hundreds of unwanted babies make their way into shelters, and it's our job to find them new and lasting homes. In order to save as many lives during the month of July as possible, we have teamed up with 15 other shelters to take part in the Maryland 2000. That's an initiative to get 2,000 or more cats and kittens into new homes during the month of July, and as a result, most shelters are waiving their adoption fees. We are waiving all of our adoption fees with the exception of the fees that are associated with some mandated items like rabies vaccinations and county licensing. So during the month of July, all of our cats and kittens are going to be going home for a fee of $15.50. Normally we don't discount the kittens because they're so easily adoptable, but even these guys are going to be going home for that price during the month of July. The standard adoption procedures do still apply, so we're still running all of our checks, making sure that each home is going to be a good fit for all of the animals that we'll be sending home. These guys are two of our older kittens. They've been on the floor for a little bit longer. They are full of energy. They are fantastic kittens, but for one reason or another, they've been kind of looked over. They are even in our greeter cage, so they're the first kittens that you're going to see when you come into the cat adoption floor. And their names are Floki and Ragna. I was told that they are names from the show Vikings, so if you're a Vikings fan, maybe these guys are for you. The white one and black one that's sitting on my lap is Ragna, and then Floki over there playing with Randy. They are both males, just like any of the other animals, cats, dogs, rabbits. These guys will be neutered before they go home, and you'll still be getting all of the stuff that you would normally get, the microchipping, the vaccinations, the flea and tick preventative, the free well visit to the vet, all of that stuff for the $15.50 price that you would normally get for that $97.50 adoption fee. So if you've been kind of thinking about adding a pet and you are looking for that right moment, maybe July here at Frederick County Animal Control is that moment for you to come in and find your new fantastic feline friend. So that's, again, all the animals. We will not be doing like additional discounts during the month, so they're just all going to be going home for $15.50. These guys are typical kittens. They are full of life and energy, and they love to play. So if you need a playmate for your house, stop by and visit with Floki and Ragna and any of the other awesome cats that are looking for forever homes here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Our next cat is a little bit older. We have cats of all ages on the floor right now. We have the kittens, we have the young adults. Winnie's about a year to a year and a half old. She's just a beautiful brown tabby cat. She's got you know, the nice white whiskers. She's got the big green eyes. She's an adorable cat, and she's also very opinionated. She likes to talk to whoever's walking by her cage and let them know how she's feeling. So if you want somebody that's gonna make themselves known in your home and gonna make you feel a little less lonely, then Winnie might be a fantastic option for you. She is another one of the animals that was brought to us because a child was going to college. It's really important when you're making decisions about adding a pet to your home that you have plans for things that are going to come up. You know, is it the child's responsibility? And if they go away to school and are living in a dorm, who's going to take care of that? Are you prepared for that eventuality? If you're, you know, have a pet and maybe you're older, are you making plans for who's going to take care of that pet when something happens to you? Because frequently we get animals in the shelter who are here because their owners have passed away. So it's really important to make sure that you have a plan for your animals when you're taking them on, in case there are life changes that are going to occur in your life, which is, you know, you can't avoid those. But Winnie has made her way here to us. She's been around other cats, she's been around children, she's been around strangers. She's fairly playful and energetic. She can be a little shy, which is not a big deal. Most cats, once they come out of their shell, are comfortable in their homes. They just might not be a fan of, you know, interacting with people that are guests that are coming to your home. And the cats are frequently shy here in the shelter because it is so stressful to be in this strange new environment. She's also, independent according to her previous owners, which cats are known for. They kind of do what they want when they want. And the good thing about Winnie is that she will let you know when she wants something from you. She's not afraid to say, hey, I want you to pet me. Hey, I want more food, or any of those types of things. She too, like the kittens before her and all of the animals on the adoption floor, will be adopted for a fee of $15.50 during the month of July. And you can stop by and visit with Winnie here at Frederick County Animal Control. We're located at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Our next guest is quietly content. This is Percy. When you walk by his cage, he's just really observant. He takes everything in, watches people walk by. He's not nearly as opinionated as his upstairs neighbor, Winnie. And he's perfectly happy to sit right here on Randy's lap. He's been kneading since he came out of his cage. He's just a happy little guy. He is one of our senior pets. He's 8 to 9 years old. And he came as previously owned, but we don't have a profile from him from his owner. So we're still learning things about him as he adjusts to shelter life. But he's been very sweet, very quiet, very well-mannered, and he's very handsome on top of that. He's got that great orange tabby coat. He's just, very sweet, very loving, and he's ready to find his way into a nice new home. He seems to be happy being a lap cat, so if that's something that you're looking for, he might be the right fit for you. A lot of people come in and they want that cat that's really affectionate and really wants to cuddle and be a lap cat. And they start looking at kittens. Kittens are fantastic, but their personalities are still developing. They're changing. What they are today might not be the way they behave tomorrow. So if you're looking for something and that's really important to you, I suggest meeting with some of the older cats that we have on the adoption floor. Even cats as young as a year, their personalities are more set, and you're going to know whether they're going to want to hang out on your lap or not. And Percy is definitely one of those guys. He hasn't been trying to get down. He hasn't made a sound. He's just quietly kneading away and really enjoying life. He doesn't seem to have any issues with, being not showing you how to use his body language. He's really good at communicating what he wants, so he's going to be a great fit for somebody with younger kids, somebody with older kids, a single person. It doesn't matter. He's going to fit right into any home. It is important to give all the animals that you adopt an appropriate length of time to adjust. We recommend at least 60 days before making any decisions about whether or not to keep animals in your home, because there is an adjustment period. They're in a new place. They feel stressed. So it takes them a little bit time to show their truest version of themselves in new situations. But if you're interested in adding Percy to your family and making him your perfect feline friend, you can stop by and visit him here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Our next guest is Morty, and he's another one of our young adult cats. He's 1.5 years old. He's a domestic short hair, and he came to us previously owned. Morty prefers to be the only cat in the house. He was not being very nice to his fellow felines in his existing home, and so he was brought to us so that we could find him a more suitable home where he would be the only cat. He has a lot of personality. He's very inquisitive. His previous owner even says he is very friendly to humans. He does a lot of the really cute, typical cat stuff. He loves to play with laser pointers, and he'll pretty much make anything a toy. He was playing with his bed last night when I walked by his cage, so he was just actively engaged. He's very curious, inquisitive. He still has a lot of those young kitten type behaviors. He wants to get down and explore and figure out what he wants to do. Because of that, he is color-coded as orange because he likes to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. He is the typical independent cat. Another thing that his previous owners did note is that he wasn't so great with kids, so maybe you want to make sure that if you're thinking about adding Morty to your home, your kids are a little bit older. Young kids often have a hard time understanding how cats are trying, or any animal for that matter, are trying to communicate with them. It's important to teach your children about cat body language if you're thinking of adding one to your home. The faster a tail's wagging on a cat, that means the more upset he's getting. Whereas if you're taking home a dog, a wagging tail is generally a sign of the dog's happy and content. Ears are also an easy thing for kids to take note of. When they're up and alert, like Morty's are right now, that's a good thing. If they were pinned back down to the side or back along his head, then he would be more upset. Those are ways that you can tell your kids, hey, maybe the cat doesn't like how you're petting it, how you're playing with it, to prevent them from getting scratched or bitten. Which is always a concern for people who are adding pets to their families. Most animals don't intend to be mean in that way or aggressive, but they will communicate to you, and if you don't listen, then they have to escalate that to the next level. So you just want to make sure that you're doing your research and understanding how they're trying to talk to you. Morty is going to be one of those guys that you want to make sure that you're reading his body language, especially if you have children, since we have a history of maybe him not getting along so well with them. But he has lots of other great things. He's at a good weight. He again loves to play. He's perfectly happy being petted, but he just wants to get down and explore new places. So he's got a lot of good things going for him. You just want to make sure that you understand his preferences when you're adding him to your home. And you can visit him here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Again, we're located at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Our last guest for you today is Callie, and she's another one of our senior residents. She's 10 years old, and she is gorgeous. She's got that beautiful long-haired calico coat. She's very soft. She's got those stunning eyes, and that really sets her apart from all of the kittens. It's hard to miss her when she comes right to the front of her cage. She is very sweet. She's very affectionate. She's going to be a fantastic pet for any family who's coming in and looking to add a cat to their home. An important thing that we do want to talk about when we're talking about Callie is that she does have a tumor that's right underneath her right ear. We are currently looking at the best course of treatment for that. It's likely that we're going to remove that tumor. Our typical standard here is that we don't biopsy those things, but we save those so that owners can have them biopsied if they have a desire to do that. So we have posted a sign on her cage so that people are aware of, like, when you're petting her and you feel something weird, like, that is what it is. But it's not something that's creating a lot of pain for her. She's just dealing with the typical things that kind of come when you get a little bit older. A little bit of arthritis, but she has no trouble moving around. She's very active in her cage, and she, kind of will go back and sleep in the back, and then she hears people coming by and she comes right out to the front, wants some attention. One of the things that I've noticed in my interactions with her is that she's not a fan of Percy, who is her neighbor, so I don't know if it's that she prefers to be just an only cat, or if it's just something about Percy that she wasn't a fan of. It says that she has been around cats, that she's very calm. Her previous owner calls her a little bit lazy. And at 10 years old, she just wants to kind of relax and hang out and have a nice, calm, loving home to spend her kind of golden years in. And if that's what you're looking for, you want a nice, calm, relaxed, lazy cat that's going to be content to sit with you and watch TV and read a book, then maybe Callie is the right cat for you. She, again, is going to be going home for that $15.50 adoption fee during the month of July. All of the cats and kittens are going to be going home for that fee. So if you've been waiting for the right time to get a new cat, maybe July is that perfect time for you. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Pet Pals. We hope that you'll tune in next week, where we introduce you to another set of fantastic adoptable animals here from Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center.